Alright, what's up? Welcome. So let's bring him into Blender. This is I was working on this a little bit yesterday, but I had to cut it short. This is the finish. This is what's actually on the back. It was originally going to be some carrots. I did make those carrots. I was worried about making something way too detailed, and of course, that's exactly what happened. So what we're going to do is bring all of this into Blender. So this is all together. It's 1.9 million, so there's a lot going on. So and also this character is a little bit older, so I wasn't able to make him as efficient as I would now probably. He's got a lot of detail, he's got a lot of paint, things like that. So there are things that I want to keep nice and clean, so that's why I can't really decimate it. That's why the size is so large for this file, but it'll be fine. And again, I added all these other little things. They should be fun. The other thing that you want to do before you bring things over into Blender is you want to go through your scene and make sure you tap on each thing, go to Gizmo, and just make sure everything is baked. So nothing, as I go through, the baked thing shouldn't show up for anything. You want everything to be baked where it's going to be, so literally just go through and make sure you bake everything, because if you don't, you're going to get those stupid Nomad unskews, and it's just going to be annoying in Blender. Trust me. So make sure you go through and bake everything. I don't need the lights and all this stuff, so for now I'm just going to delete them. The lights and the cameras. He's already saved, so okay, so now the next thing I have to do is just make sure my audio is working. And let me make sure I'm actually legit streaming, because sometimes it makes me nervous if I don't know if I'm actually streaming. Okay, I am. I don't see any comments, so I have to make sure. So now all those lights are gone. So now we can export the GLTF. And we're going to do all, so all 54. And we're going to export GLTF, so it's 64 megabytes. And we're going to export it to the computer. Let's go ahead and switch to the Mac, so you can see it come in. Actually, it probably won't come in on this screen, but we'll see. Because the airdrop thing is actually on my small screen, not this screen. So let's go ahead and get rid of, let's just close this for now. Okay, so now we have so here's our file down here. And here's Blender. So I always use my backdrops, and my backdrops are all actually available on my Patreon. So, what's up? What's up? Are you? Good to see you. Thanks for swinging by. So this is a little character that I made. I'll just show you a quick image of this. If I go to where is it? Blender. I have so many files in Blender. This is like a little random thing that I created a year or two ago. But again, I like to bring older stuff in and render them in Nomad. And this little guy too, so he's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to editing that time lapse, actually. So what we'll do, we can go ahead and minimize this. So we want to get rid of all of these, this character right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all these and delete them. I think I have a little turntable here. Actually, I probably won't use that. Okay, so I actually use the animation tab in Blender, and you can move these windows around. It's a little bit confusing, but don't worry too much about it. Once you start getting into Blender, it's just going to take a while to, maybe I should move my mic. It's going to take a while to get used to everything, but you just kind of have to go through the fire with Blender, unfortunately. But I use a window here, and here I have, if I press 0, this is like my camera view. So this is what the camera sees right here. And then this window, I just like to keep it at, instead of being like rendered, which is what it looks like, I just keep it at solid. So that way it's easier to move around. But then I can always see what my camera is seeing here. And if I was to move this around, you see that the camera moves. Okay, so let's bring in that file. So we'll go to File here, and we'll just import GLTF. So we'll import GLTF, and it doesn't matter. So we go to Download, Alpaca, okay, and then we'll import it. So it'll probably take a minute. Okay, so there it is, and I'm actually going to change it to Eevee. That way, it's just it's less intensive on the computer. Oh, let me turn my phone. Oh no, I have to leave that on. Oh no, I don't. I can turn that off for now. Okay, so here we have our Alpaca. Okay, so our scene. One thing that's really important in Blender is when you're exporting a render, you want to make it really big. If you make a render small, it's going to look really pixelated and bad, and you're not going to be able to figure out why. You just have to usually render at a pretty big resolution, or else this is going to look bad. Of course, you have to make sure your camera is focused and everything, but the main thing, you just want to make sure that you export big. Okay, so now everything is still selected here. So in this window, this is all of this nice new sculpt, and I'm going to drag it all into the turntable animation, because eventually I'm going to make it a turntable. So I'm just going to drag it into there. So eventually what I'm going to do is take all these and take this empty, which is this random empty box. I'll just connect it, and it'll be the empty box that turns, which in turn will be the Alpaca turning. But for now, I just want to make sure that I get all the colors and stuff right. I'm actually going to save as Alpaca and friends. Okay, so I'll just save this one as a new file. So everything is still selected, so I'm just going to hit S to resize everything of a decent size. I think that looks pretty good for this. It doesn't look like it's actually straight, but it could be the camera. If I hit 1, oh yeah, it looks like the camera is a little bit off, so I'm going to bring the camera hopefully right in the middle. Okay. And I'll hit 0 again so I can just have my camera view. So that looks pretty good. It might be a little close, or it might be a little big, but we'll see. So I'm going to take the camera, this is my camera here, and I'm actually going to tilt it down a little bit. Okay, so he's pretty much in the middle. Okay, maybe I should just connect him now. So I'm going to connect him to that empty that I mentioned. I'm going to select everything, and then I'm going to select that box. It's actually tricky because I don't know if the box, let me bring the box, this is the frames down here, so I'm bringing this down to 1 so I can actually see what it looks like. It looks like everything's good. It looks like it's in the center. I've had issues in the past where you try to rotate something, and if it's not in the center, it just looks silly. What's up, Garm? What's up, Han? Hope everyone's doing okay today. I was editing together the first bits of this because actually there's a lot going on back here, and I recorded all of it. I couldn't do live stream because sometimes I just can't do live stream, but I recorded all of it. Excuse me, I have like my nose is bugging today. So like at the moment I have like 5 hours. I have 5 hours of footage. No, it's actually not 7. Let me cut this music. But yeah, I have about 5 hours of footage, and including the first live stream. But I have 5 hours of footage here. just making all these things that are going on behind this guy. So that was really fun. But let me actually close this right now, so I don't have so many applications running at the same time. Okay, I thought I closed that. Okay, so let's go back to Blender. Okay, so I don't think I actually... Okay, so I need to select the box as well. So I selected the empty, and then Command P, and keep transform. So basically I'm just... It's not joining. I'm setting all the Alpaca stuff. I'm setting it to... I'm setting the empty to be a parent object to all the Alpaca stuff. So essentially it's just going to be connected to the empty. And the empty is what's actually going to turn. So I'm just connecting it to the empty, so everything will turn. It's a lot easier because obviously the Alpaca has so many different parts, but when you connect them to an empty, then you can just control the empty. So it makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to do object transform, that way nothing moves. Or keep transform. So what's good about this is I already have the empty set up, so I have my 2 keyframes. And all they are is 0 keyframes and then 360 keyframes. So it just spins. So, but what I like is I can turn it and I can make sure that everything is like in frame, pretty much. Doesn't have to be completely in frame, but... So that looks pretty good. I might want to... take... can I even do that now? You know what I'm going to do instead? I think I'm going to take the... I was going to make the Alpaca smaller, but I don't think I need to do that. I think I can just take the camera, go to the camera settings, and then move the camera back a little bit. Okay, I'm going to move it up a little bit more, so then maybe I can move it back out a smidge more. I think that's pretty good. So also, I want to go in close, and I'm just going to set the focus. So down here you have depth of field, and right now the f-stop's at 9, so I'm just going to, first I'm going to try to find the focus with the eye. So that looks pretty much in focus. I'm going to have to shade smooth everything, I think. Usually I do it all together, but the only thing is, actually let me just do it all together. I'm going to hit, oops, nose, white cat. So that's everything, and I'm just going to, the equivalent of right click, I'm tapping with 2 fingers on the mouse, on the pad, trackpad. The only thing is that these parts, when I made these little wooden things, those shouldn't be shaded smooth. So I'm going to tap on those and then shade flat. That way they look flat. And what I'm planning to do with these, I might as well do it now. You want to make sure you have Blender Kit. When you have Blender, it's just like a free add-on. So I'm going to do wood, and Blender Kit is here, and you can kind of look, it has models and materials and everything, scenes. So it has a bunch of free things as well. So for example, wood. So then it looks like wood, but there's better kinds of wood. And also it's going to look a little different. Remember, I'm using Eevee and not Cycles. Cycles is more realistic looking. So I usually always, or not usually always, I always sculpt in Cycles. So I want wood, but I want it to look like, I actually don't know what I want it to look like. But anyway, there's lots of different kinds of wood. That looks interesting. So you can kind of go through, and it just makes it very, It's nice to just have so many materials and things. Why, I don't know why it's doing that. That's so weird. But let's see if I can find one that works well. Oh, that's okay, but it's still not great. Okay, so there's something with my there's something with the whatchamacallit? Something about the material or something is like a little bit weird, so it's just making it very, very odd. But that's okay. Oh, that was actually not too bad. Let's see if... Yeah, it's very odd. There's something about the way that it's like connecting. It just can't get right. So I'll try a few other woods. Oh, that wood works. Desk wood. Desk wood works. What about oak? Nope. So I wonder if it's so when you're using Blender, there's two things, like there's procedural and there's texture based. So I'm going to hit procedural and see if that makes a difference. So let's do furniture wood. Okay, so that worked. Let's see if the other ones work. And this is something that I've always wanted to, I've just been curious about. So it'll be nice to know if that has something to do with it. So it looks like procedural is fine. So let's do texture based. So if we do texture based, it seems like that's what's messed up. Oh no, but this works good. This works well. No, they're all a little messed up. So we'll go with procedural. I believe that procedural is the better option anyway. But yeah, so as you can see, Blender, it can be quite tedious. Yeah, we'll go with this one. I like this one. I was originally thinking like a lighter wood, but I think this looks nice. Let's see, what's this look like? Okay, that's fine. So I wonder if I can get some sort of grass. Let's see. Now, obviously these are they're not going to be like perfect grass, but let's see what some of them look like. It's not too bad. It's not perfect. Oh, that's actually pretty cute. Okay, and then we have these little plant things that I made as well. Although I don't know how I want to... What if I just use moss? Oh, I think the moss looks crazy. Let's not use moss. So we'll just keep it, oh, you know what, maybe let's try to use the same exact thing I used for this, if I can remember which one it was. Let's click on it. It looks like this is, oh, golf bent grass. So we'll go to golf bent grass for the little grass pudgy things. And I think that's fine. What's up, Christian? Yeah, I just uploaded. I haven't felt any different. I haven't felt any difference. I usually just update Honestly, whenever an update shows up, I just update. But I didn't have any issues with the last one. I don't think, not too much. I didn't have many crashes, and so far so good in this one. Hopefully, it continues to be fine. Blender looks so confusing, and it definitely is very confusing. But once you get a handle on it, it does make it a lot of fun. So that does help a lot. Actually, I'm going to join these two. So I'm going to take both of those and Command J. So now we have that. But if you go into it, oh, I think it's the same, so that it's just the same one. Okay, good. What else do we have here, though? So there's moss. I wonder if there's anything else like lawn or... Let's just see what this looks like. That's cute too, though. I can't tell if it made it a little bit too high. No, it doesn't look like it. No, I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Okay, so let's go back to my camera view, which is orthographic, I believe. So obviously he's too shiny, so we want to alpaca skin. So we want to up the roughness. It looks real shiny. Well, that looks pretty good. I also want to set the subsurface so he's a bit more organic. Eyebrows, I always just turn the specular all the way off. I think that's all I have to do. So there's two parts to the eyes. These are both UV spheres. So let's take the eye white, the sclera, and we'll make that glossy. We'll make this glossy. So that way it's nice and glossy. Okay, so I can tell that the depth of field is a little too shallow. So let's go into our camera, and our depth of field is here. So our eye is in focus. It looks like it might be a little bit off. Our eye is a little bit off. So I want to find that focus, which is a little bit difficult sometimes. That looks pretty sharp to the naked eye. So we'll go with that for now. Oh, the f-stop is at 9 though. I want a little bit more in focus, so I'm going to put it at like... I'll put it at 14. And we'll leave it there for now. I'm just going to save. What's up, Catalan? Hello. If I never opened Blender before, where do I start? It looks very complex and intimidating. I'm not a very technical person, but the results you can achieve is maybe worth it. That's exactly how I felt and feel about Blender. I didn't do the donut thing. I think I tried it, but I think what might be easy is if you... Okay, so my first things in Blender, I used a guy called Pixo 3D, And actually, he has a bunch of videos on YouTube, but I actually used his Skillshare class. And this isn't really even me plugging Skillshare on purpose, but that's how I pretty much got into it. I just took his Skillshare classes, and from that point on, I did realize that there's something different about Skillshare and like the learning platform in that particular way. But that's what helped me. So I took his class on Skillshare. That's how I learned to kind of like bring things in, and I didn't. He does a little bit of sculpting in it, but I usually do all my sculpting in Nomad. But it was great to learn how to make turntables, which is really what I wanted to do, just render and turntables. So I learned that with Pixo 3D. Um, of course, to make things easier, I actually have on my Patreon, I think on my Gumroad too, I think just my Patreon perhaps, but I also have like these backdrops, like I save these backdrops, or just like complete Blender files. So, Blender's free, so I would just open it up and play around with it. YouTube is great. There's tons of tutorials. You can see how I bring things into Blender from Nomad Sculpt. So I think that's a great place to start. That's where I started. I just brought my stuff in and was like, okay, I have to figure it out. I will say that I have to disagree with the fact that Blender is intuitive. I feel as though it's intuitive if you have a certain kind of brain for it, which I don't necessarily have at first. But what helps me is I used to work in TV and film, so I kind of understand, and I like videography and regular photography. So I understand a lot of the things with the cameras and the camera movements and all of the things having to do with depth of field. So I understand that, so that helps a lot. But I would say something like Nomad is more intuitive, because Blender just seems like it seems like it's time for Blender to have a complete overhaul and just kind of like get caught up, because some things are just like, it's like a professional piece of equipment, and like you just have to like jump right into it, and it's very difficult and intimidating. It literally just takes time, and it's hard to learn because everything is like keys. I can't even show you what I'm doing. But anyway, I think all these pieces are together. Yeah, they're all together. So, oops. Okay, so these straps are going to be leather. So there's two different kinds of leather here. I thought those were connected, but I guess not. Okay, so these, let's just make these leather. But we want to find a good leather. I want to go to both. Let's just see how this looks. It might be a little dark. Oh, one thing I notice about this version of Blender, when I'm using Blender Kit, it doesn't always, oh, maybe it's like this drag thing, which is new. I think that might be throwing me off. It's giving me the ability to drag the material to the box, when normally I wouldn't drag it. I think I like this leather, but I think I want this to be the same leather. Oh, see, but I can't, it doesn't let me drag it. It looks like I'm, oh wait, can I? No. Can I drag it here? Okay, so it has the drag function, which is fine, I guess. But suddenly I don't like this leather. I'm not sure why. I want more of a brown leather. That looks kind of nice. And I'm sure it's hard for you to see. It's even hard for me to see because, oh, actually I only have 20. So the rendered one, it's only rendering 20 samples, which is not that much. But if you start rendering a lot, it just slows down the system quite a bit, so it's a little tricky in that sense. That looks kind of nice, but I think oh, is this the one that I used? These are kind of nice too, though. Yeah, I'm very picky with my materials. Oh, I think I like, for this part, maybe this leather is a good choice. It's not, I wanted it to be a little bit of a lighter leather. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, so also I wanted to try and find something that works as like a rope. Oh, I don't know, let's see. I'm not sure how these are gonna look. It's so dark, that rope is so dark. Sisal rope. Alright, let's turn this around. Actually, let's spin it instead of turning it. So I'm just going to go to a different frame and see how it looks. That actually looks nice. Actually, I really like that. It looks nice and natural. Okay, so these oh, I think they're fine. Let's make that a dark. Let's go back to leather. And that can just be like a dark leather. I think that works. I think I wanted this piece to be wood again. Here we are with the wood. Okay, I think that actually looks fine. You know, Christian, it's funny that you mentioned that because I tried to do 3D in 1999 that was my first year of art school. So I went to SVA in School of Visual Arts, and I actually majored in 3D, or I got in as a 3D major. So I started, obviously they were using, I think 3D Studio Max, Maya. I had to learn a bunch of other programs as well, but it was really just like basic. Like I never like really sculpted anything. It was basically just like getting to know these programs, and I absolutely hated it. And now looking back, 20 something years later, like looking back on it, I completely understand why I didn't like it and why it didn't work for me. And it's literally just because my brain isn't wired to think of 3D in that way, to go about 3D with the intent, oh, I'm creating this so I can animate something or for a game. It makes sense. That's what the majority of, like, especially back then, if you're going to do 3D, it's like you have to be doing it for movies, you have to be doing it for games. You know, Blue Sky and all these like animation companies were like right at the come up. But I hated it, so I went to illustration. But looking back on it, now I can understand why I hated an app like Blender. Because for me, it's more about like I just want to create amazing looking artwork. So for me, it was working backwards. I was able to create some cool animations, not like rigged or anything, but just still, I can just, you know, you can animate if you can move things around and make keyframes. So I was able to make some cool animations, but for me, I had to work backwards. So with Nomad was like Procreate, which is like drawing, and that's what it feels like to me. So like that worked. So everything clicked in a way because like everything was like very Procreate like, which is very fluid, which is very like you can doodle and make things. So that's why that worked really well for me. Blender, on the other hand, is more of an engineer's mindset. It's like an engineer's program. You can't really like just open Blender and like doodle. You know, you can open Blender and then you can create a miniature version of something that you're looking at, but it's not really great for someone like me who's like, I have no idea what I'm going to make. I don't know what these characters are. I just want to be able to draw them, sculpt them in a sense. So I think that's why, I think that's the main difference between like what's intuitive and what isn't. For me, I'm just lucky that I do know the things about video and about photography, so it makes it a little bit easier. But again, Blender is more like learning how to use like a keyboard again, because everything is so keyboard intensive. And for me, that doesn't like mesh that well with like creating art, which is essentially what I'm doing. So that's my main thing. So if something like Nomad was out when I was going to school, I think it would have been over. It would have been insane. I couldn't imagine like what I'd be doing today. But I'm glad I discovered it in 2021. 20 years later, 21 years later. Pixelated. I'm stupid. I don't know what that's from. But you're probably not stupid. Probably maybe just as stupid as me. I'm pretty much a dumb. Takes me a long time to figure. It takes me a long time to learn Blender. Like 2 years, I can do a turntable. I can texture some stuff. I can do the easy stuff. Oh yeah, learn anatomy. The anatomy, another thing, was I learned all that stuff. Drawing, I think, is key for me because I've been drawing forever. What's up, Mexi? Hi, please make a video guide on how to transfer from iPad to Blender. Yeah, you can actually just restart this video and then you'll be on your way. Dave, did you UV the box? No, I didn't UV. I didn't UV any. I don't UV anything. I don't even know how to UV stuff. I did once. I think I unwrapped something once, but I was like, then I don't know how to paint it. I don't know how to weight paint. I don't know how you paint with a keyboard, so I'm just always so confused about that. So any of the color stuff, unless it's a solid color, I do all that in Nomad, because that way I don't have to like unwrap and rewrap and all that stuff. I did watch some tutorials, but I gave up. I think this is all one piece, actually. I wish I had him in different pieces, but I think he's just all one piece. He might even be like baked from Nomad. I'm not sure. I don't even know what all this stuff is. Base color. Yeah, I don't know. This was a little character that I did in a long time ago, but I just kind of bring him over sometimes. Oops. Let's go for pattern. Oh, you know what? Let's just do okay, pot. Let's find a nice. Yeah, we'll just do something like that. I think that's a nice. I think both of these are together. They are. So these are going to want to be some sort of iron. So let's look at iron. And the colors are right, but it's nice to just be able to cast iron. Blanched. I like cast iron blanched. Oh, and let's go to our camera and turn off the focus for now. So we'll go to our camera and I'm just going to turn off depth of field for now so that we can just see everything clearly. Candle. I could just set the oh yeah, we'll do this one. That looks nice. Okay, so this is going to be, let's see if I have any glow materials. I probably do. What is this? So we'll make this nice and bright. Oh, and actually, well, we're going to rename this. So this is going to be flame glow. Let's just put glow first. Glow flame. And actually what I should have done is just join both of these. Because I'm not sure if they are joined. I don't think they are. Nope. Wrong one. Okay, so we'll take both of them and then join them. And I'll delete the other material, that way they'll both have the same material. We'll do the same with the candles. Oh, they are together, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick save. Okay, so that looks good. That rope looks so interesting. I love that it's not perfect. So let's do these little ropes. Let's name this rope B, excuse me. We'll name this, we'll leave that. So this is rope B. So we want to go back to rope. I don't want to use the same one. So let's see. Oh, that's bananas. No, excuse me. I'm not a huge fan of the drag thing, trying to get me to drag. Dirty white rope. Really, what is that? Okay, I don't know why they keep getting progressively bigger. Excuse me. Okay, so I think that's all I have for rope. So maybe we just use, oh, whatever that is looks good. I think that looks fine. It might be the same thing I used for the other one, but I think it looks okay. So we'll use, oh, it looks a bit weird though. Oh, I changed the whole, I hate when I do that. I accidentally click off of what I'm actually trying to do, and then rope. Oh wait, did that work? Oh yeah, that worked. How did I miss that the first time? This is actually, this is wood as well. What kind of wood though? Let's see what this looks like. I feel like I wanted a little more brown, or a little warmer. Oh, I think that looks perfect. Okay, now this, let's just look at cloth. It's actually really fun to like texture things. And I would never be able to like make these textures and like do all this if not for Blender Kit. Like I just don't have the, I don't have the time, like I don't have the time or desire to learn all of this. It's like backgrounds. I kind of want something a little more brown. Wrinkled sheet. Fabric. Let's see what this looks like. Okay with that. Okay, so it's looking good. You can always paint with vertex colors, no UVs needed in Blender. Yeah, I don't even know how to do that. I don't know how you would have any control over like painting. I think that's what it is. So for example, like when I paint in Nomad, I just paint the same way I do if I was drawing. Like I do a little bit of red, I can like kind of shade it, and then I can make it I can do that. So there's like all these like little things that I feel like they would just take me forever in Blender. And I think also for me is I like to produce a lot of art. Like I like the shortest way to produce the best art ever. So for me, that's like creating everything in Nomad, because like I can just make stuff, I can just create stuff. And then using Blender because it's unmatched when it comes to the other stuff. What kind of hands do we want to give him? I'm gonna have to stand up soon. Let's move through this a little more quickly. Let's get out of this. Let's make this white. We'll make it more rough. Turn the roughness up. And maybe even a little subsurface. Just a smidge. Oh, I actually brought this over as, it looks like as a refractive already. It actually doesn't look that bad. So I might just leave it. These two I'm going to join. And just delete one of them. Oh, I wonder if there's like paper. I don't know if paper will make it a little bit more interesting. Or something that would be like a... No, actually I like the blue. I'm okay with the blue. What's up, Teeks? Good to see you. Minecraft. Hello. What's up, Karsten? Good to see you. Hope everything is well. Hope you guys are doing all right. Yeah, it's always so nice to do streams. Sometimes I don't know, I miss some days because I'm just like, oh, I wish I could do a stream. I have to learn to do a stream for like 40 minutes and then that's it. But it's so difficult for me. It's so difficult. I really like this hat too. Let me see if I can get in there on this hat so you guys can really visualize what I'm doing. But like all this stuff, like in Nomad, I can just like knock it out so quick. Let's use one of the leathers we already have for this. So, oh, maybe the hat we can make like some sort of canvas. Excuse me. So, let's type in leather. Oh, we have a lot of leathers, don't we? Oh, it's a little dark. Nah. I want a brown leather. Okay, that looks better. Let's see if there's should a hat be canvas, or maybe it should be like straw. So I'm moving around because my butt is killing me. Straw. We'll try straw. Let's see what straw weaving looks like for the hat. That's crazy. I'm sure there's probably, I can go down here in the nodes and figure out like a size, but this is where Blender gets a little too crazy for me, because like it doesn't just have like, oh, like the size of the pattern. You have to know like your texture coordinate and your vector and all this stuff. So I'll take a quick look and see if I can find some sort of thing that resembles the word size. Gamma, that looks like color. Roughness. Displacement. Mid-level. Scale. Scale sounds good. Let's see. Nope. Mid-level. Let's see what that does. Oh. World space. I don't know. We tried. So let's see if there's something better. No, these are bootleg. Okay, so let's go back to, I'm gonna do undo and undo because I actually really like that color brown. I would like to match that. So let's put tan in and see if there's a nice tan texture. Open your eye. Thank you. I don't see any good tans. I feel like leather is the only thing. Oh, khaki. Let's see if there's a khaki. What kind of khakis are these? You guys are bugging. We'll go back to leather. And we'll try, there's some leather with like creases. Let's see if we can get one that's like the right color. That's too shiny. That's a bit shiny too, but that looks a bit nicer. It's a little too shiny. Okay, I think we're going to stick with that one. And you know what? I can probably make it a little bit lighter. Sometimes there's something that resembles a color. Colors. Mid-level. Oh, here's the color. Oh, no, the colors are coming right from here, so makes it a little more difficult. I think this is a texture based and not procedural, so I might not be able to do that. Anyway, I think it still looks good as a hat. So for these little ones, let's just do a brown leather. Let's go crazy and just do a brown leather. The ear puffs, I just want to make sure that they're fairly rough. His skin. What add-on is that for a material? So I'm using, it's called Blender Kit. Blender Kit. So you'll definitely find it. It has a bunch of free materials and everything. It's awesome. I use it all the time. Han, the result is really fantastic, but I have to get used to the fact that Blender seems to work so slowly. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's Blender Kit. Yeah, it does work slowly. It is very taxing. So like I'm eventually, probably when I come back from my wedding and honeymoon, I'm going to, I think my wedding gift for myself is just going to be, I'm going to get a PC. Like there's that site where you can like just put the pieces together. So I think I'm going to get a PC. I think I'm going to get like NVIDIA, what is it, like, what is it? Whatever the 4800 or 800 or 900 or something like that, or 90, 80 or 90, I don't know. One of those like nice graphics cards. Because I need to be doing this like much faster. And I need to be making the turntables much faster and like bigger. Like I want to make like, I want to be able to do a 4K turntable because it'll just look beautiful. Instead of having to do like a really small one, because that will only take 7 hours instead of 7 days. Okay, so for this skin, let's go ahead and we want to make it rougher, of course. A little bit more. I don't want him to look too greasy. Okay, that looks good. We'll give him a little subsurface. I do miss the old subsurface when it just had like the colors that you could adjust. I don't like that it's different now, but what can you do? That was a while back when they had that though. but I liked it better than like this value. You know, like this, like, so essentially this radius just adjusts the color ratio like inside the skin. Like it'd be easier to just like pick the color and like have it, I don't know, just the terminology is just so like engineering. Like it seems like Blender was for something else, but since people were able to 3D sculpt, they were just like, oh, it's a 3D sculpting thing. But it's like, and also I don't like you can go on something and, okay, so I hovered over weight and it says blend between diffuse surface and subsurface scattering. Typically should be 0 or 1, either fully diffuse or subsurface. Now, someone that's not familiar with it, this pop-up is just not helpful at all. It's just not helpful. You know, like they're just like, they're helpful if you already know what it is. But if you don't, it's not helpful. Alright, let me stop being so salty. Blender school just takes a while. Procedural leather? What does that look like as a nose? Error downloading. What are we doing? What are you doing to me? Okay, nose. Let's just put nose. Maybe there'll be like a nose texture. But also it's really fun to kind of figure out what might work for textures. So for nose, I would probably do like a scales, maybe. That might work for nose. And not that he has to have, not that he really has to have such an intense nose. But like something like this, but black. I don't know if it's a procedural. Oh, I don't know what that is. Let's see what procedural. Like the creature of the Black Lagoon using the avocado skin. My favorite. I love avocado skin. Oh, that would be good if it's not so shiny. That would be good for a nose. Let's see if I can get rid of the metallic. And the base color. We'll just do RGB and we'll go black. And we'll do more of a roughness. I don't know if I still have the texture. I can't really tell. Probably not even worth it. Yeah, no, probably not even worth it. I'm just going to get rid of this and just add a new one. And we'll make it dark. I don't want it super black. I just want it dark. We'll make it a little bit rougher. We'll give it a little metalness just for a little bit of flavor. These again, going to turn the specular off. I always do that for eyelashes. These can be shiny. These can be shiny. The eyes. Oh, he's got teeth too. Let's get in there. Wait for it to clear up so you can see. So there's a tongue. I always use the tongue procedural. So we'll use the tongue. Teeth. I wonder if there's bone actually. Bone might look good for teeth. I want a procedural that has some subsurface to it though. So I might have to use both. Oh, this is taking too long. So I'm just going to make him rough. Glossy. Subsurface. And I want to add some... Okay, so where's frame all? So I can see my materials. View, frame all. There we go. So the only node I know is ambient occlusion. So to add ambient occlusion, you have to do all of this. You You have to add ambient occlusion. Wait, what is this? You have to add a color ramp. Wait, what is this? This is the wrong color ramp. Converter color ramp. You have to collect the color to the factor. You have to switch these two thingies. Just trust me, you have to switch them. You have to add a diffuse, and you have to add a mix shader. And it has to be the right mix shader. So I'm going to select all of these and do Command C so I can just save it so I don't have to do that again. Then you have to bring the mix shader here in between, take the color and put it into the factor. And this is all just as difficult as it seems. It's just as confusing as it seems. But since I always use ambient occlusion, I was like, I have to figure out how to do it. So I was able to find one tutorial that actually worked. It's hard to find good tutorials out there. It's deadly out there. So the reason why I switched it, now we should be able to see, let me zoom in. What's up, Shreya? Thanks for coming by. Hopefully you guys can throw me a big fat like. I appreciate it. Okay, so now, so the color ramp, see now we can see that it actually is doing something. But we don't want the color to be black. We want the color to be, remembering the diffuse. So now the color is white, but we want it to be some sort of like, yeah, sort of like that. Maybe even a little darker. But I want to adjust this because I just want it on like the ends. Like I don't want it on the full tooth. I just want it on like, I know it's really hard to see. But that looks better. So it just gives it like that ambient shadow, but it makes it look a little bit tanned. So it's better. It's better, trust me, it's better. Oh, you know what? I could probably do the same with the eyes. Let's see what happens if I take this, if I group them. Oh, I don't know which material is which. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, I delete this one. If I delete the eyes, now they both have the same. So that kind of saved me a little bit of time. Wait, is this grass not in there? So the grass looks like it didn't get brought in, so let me bring it in now. Oh, but it has to be, right? Turntable animation. Is the grass like not turning? Oh no, the grass is not turning. Interesting. So we're on 81. I'm going to go back to 1 with the grass. Oh, it's so annoying. Alright, let me think of how to fix this. So if this is 1, why wouldn't the grass be... Why wouldn't the grass be straight? Doesn't make any sense. Let me go to item. Oh, so rotation, if I put 0, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, Z is a little bit different too. If I put 0, where does it go? Oh, it goes away. Okay, so we'll leave it where it was. And then we will so we have to take the grass and the empty and do the same process. Okay, so now it's in there. Now we're gilded. So now let me just go back to 81 because that was a good frame. Okay. It's those annoying things that you miss and like you do an animation and you wait 2 days and come back and the grass is messed up. It's the worst. Okay, so where was I? Is the hair connected? I did connect it, okay. Did the nose, did the teeth, did the tongue. This could be the same as the, I don't know if I want that the same. I'm just gonna X out of this and make this a bit more rough. My what do you call it? Thing always comes out of my computer. The HDMI cable always comes out of the computer on its own. It just has a mind of its own. Okay, so these, let's make them a little bit more rough, and I don't think we have purple leather, so we might just leave them as this regular texture. Let me save. Although Blender has great autosave, it's always nice to save. I like this. I'll make them a little more rough. And we'll do like a subsurface. We'll do it nice and see-through. Sort of like rubber. Everything looks good. I honestly don't think I need to do anything to the bottle. The bottle looks great. I could make it like a little more shiny maybe. And maybe the transmission. Oh. That looks good. Specular. Volume. I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, so these flowers, they don't actually look shiny. They look nice. So let's just make them a little bit more rough and let's give them a little bit of subsurface. And let's call it a day. I don't think the individual, no, that's just one material. Okay. Okay, the mushrooms. They look pretty good. We'll make them a little bit more rougher and we'll just give them some subsurface as well. I'm addicted to subsurface. Can't help it. For this, let's do silver. Let's find a nice, why these errors are killing me. I don't know what all these errors are. Okay, so that's a nice metal. This is jewel. Let's see if there's a red. What's red? I don't even know what a red jewel is. No. What's a rose? I don't know. What's a red jewel? Garnet? I don't think it's red. Jewel. Did I look up jewel? I think I did. Stone. Oh, ruby, right? Ruby? Ruby? No, there's no ruby. I wonder if I could do emerald and change the color. But I think I might need for it to be procedural. So that's actually nice, but let's see if I can change the color. I don't even see the green. Everything looks blue. Why are they playing games with me? Oh, yeah, like a syrup or something. Come on. Oh, what? Oh, I guess maybe they have to be texture based. Am I spelling it wrong or something? Oh, candy. The pink is kind of cute, actually. Let's see if I can change this to red. View, frame all. I don't know why they would not be in frame. It makes zero sense to me. Imperfections. If I can change this to make it, well, this is pretty red. Oh, here's the reflection. I guess that's the reddish we're gonna get it. That doesn't even look good. Oh, did I use this one? Oh, okay, I did. Okay, so I'm officially just gonna use, probably just use this one. But of course it saved all my thingies. Let's just go back to normal. Should I do pink or should I do a different color? What's up, Edwardton? Did you export as OBG from Nomad? I export as GLTF. So I export everything as GLTF. All together. But you can see actually in the very beginning of this video, oh, that looks bad. This thing. In the beginning of the video, I bring it over from Nomad. And I'll show you exactly how I do it. Leather, leather, leather. We need a better leather. I just want a normal leather. F leather red. No, I need a darker leather. Oh, I didn't know that leather was so like cracked like that. Bootleg. Come on, I just need a dark brown, regular. I don't know why I'm looking so hard. Oh, that might be too dark. Oh no, not that, not that. Go back to what I was working on before, please. There we go. I don't know why it does that. It like clicks behind what you're working on. Why would you do that? I'm sure I'm somehow clicking on it, but okay, I'm done. Oh yeah, let's try these. Oh, they're so light. Aged leather. Oh wait, whoa, wait, what is that? I actually don't mind it, but let me check the back thingies. Oh no, that looks good. Aged leather. It made it like kind of thick, but I'll take it. Oh, that's right. These metal things, I don't think I did. Uh-oh. Let me save. Okay. Oh, wait. Are these not together? Because this metal looks good. What is this metal? Let's just join these two. Get rid of that. Oh, that's kind of weird that it gives me that weird thing there. But it looks kind of nice, whatever it is. Oh, that's the metal for this too. Oh, it looks good. Looks good. Oh, should I change that from pink to a different color? What do you guys think? I guess the pink is kind of cute. I like pink. I don't have any issues with pink. The only other thing is I was thinking, do I want to put... I think I need to do ambient occlusion on his skin. And maybe just use a brown, because he is colored. Like he does have coloring, but... So if I can Control V, if I can bring this over, and I'll just do like a dark brown for the actual shadow color. So I'll bring it over, oh come on. Bring it over into there, bring this over, and then adjust the actual ambient occlusion. So we'll put, oh, I don't want it so dark there. Okay, so maybe around there is good, but it needs to be, it's connected diffusion, so that will affect the color. So first it's going to be white because the color is white. But I'll change that to, let's grab this color. Oh, why did it go like that ugly green color? There we go, that's better. And I have to look up like this because I have to actually look over my phone. So we'll make this darker. We'll make it a little darker here. A little more rich. Okay. Everything is looking pretty good. I wonder if there's like a sock. No, you know what? I'm done with fabrics. Fabrics are bugging. Okay, so we did this flower, we did the, I know there's another flower up front. We did the flames. I would actually like to add lights there. That way when I do the turntable, I know there's another flower. Oh, it's inside the pot, isn't it? I don't think I did anything to it. Are all these pieces separate? Oh, they are. So this, we'll just make rough. This will make a little bit more rough, and we'll add a nice subsurface to it. And part of me wants to, I don't know, I kind of like the pinkish, but I kind of want it to be a little see-through. I don't know if that's smart. I always love to experiment as I'm working, as you can see. So this all looks great. Alright, I think I have everything, so I want to add those lights. So I'm thinking it's going to be, okay, it's going to be this. This is going to be real bright. But let's bring this light down into here. I want to bring it into that. I hate that this thing doesn't move slowly. It moves at 100 miles an hour, so you have to like try and get it to where you want it to go. Why won't it go in there? Oh, it's because of the, okay, I get it. So I need to take this light and the empty again, because I want it to spin. I want everything to spin together. So I'll grab the empty, Command P, keep transform. Now it's inside there. So this is going to be candle light. Okay, I also hate that it's like it moves it by the name. I'm sure I can change it, but I hate changing anything because sometimes you change something and you just don't, it does something weird and then you can never go back to what it was. I hate it. Okay, so this is a sun. No, actually, I want it to be a point light. So I want it to be a point light. I'm going to make it like 10, and we're going to make it warm. Okay, so we'll make it something like that. Maybe we'll do soft fall off, or make the radius really small, because I don't want it to be huge. So we'll make it small, and now we just need to find the light. Zoom, 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 zoom. And the reason I do this is because although this flame is an emit, so like it's emitting light, sometimes it's just not enough. I like to be able to control that light, so if I want it to be brighter, it can be brighter. So I'll put the light right there, and even you can kind of see that it looks a little bit better. If I turn off the light, see, if I turn off the light, then we can see the difference. Because I'm going to do a light version and a dark version spin. I'd like to. So if I find the light, if it allows me to find it, candle light. See, if I turn it off, like it's emitting, but it's just not, it's not bright enough. So I add the light in there. That way it's nice and bright. So now I just want to, is it Command D to duplicate? No. Is it Shift D? Shift D here? Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I have this other light, which is a duplicate. And I'll bring it straight over. I'm going to turn it because it doesn't matter. Oh, it's on global. Let's do local. Go back to global. This is just like more gizmo nonsense. Trying to figure out any one of the 50 million ways to get the gizmo to move the way you want it to. Okay, we'll move this here. It's a nice spot. We'll go to 0 again. And then he has the two lights. Cute. Oh, this looks so glossy. I don't know what's up with that. I don't want these things glossy. Okay, so those look good. They're in the candlelight 2. Those look great. Let's turn these lights back on so we can do the light version. Looks fantastic. He looks great. Oh, the shorts. I feel like the shorts are looking glossy. So the shorts, just add some roughness to them. That's probably about it. Doesn't really need too much. Eyes look good, hat looks good, nose looks good, bottle looks good. Oh, let me turn back on the background. Okay. So we'll take a look at our view. Looks nice. And So we need a front view, which is mostly him. I'm thinking something like around here. So I'm thinking something like this. It's pretty good. Oh, let me look at this. Let me look at these lights. I actually didn't see how bright they were. You know what? Let's leave them. We'll leave it there. We'll leave them on. And I don't even think I looked at the actual lights of the scene yet. They're actually just lit from something else I did. But they look like they're in a pretty good spot. I love the pops of light. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's blue. That's cool. The background is white. There's a warm light back there, and it kind of is clashing with him a little bit. So I'll make sure that there's no warm in that light. There's definitely some warm. Does this light have any warmth? No. What is causing that to be warm? I don't think it's this. No, it's not that. Why won't you Command Z? That's so weird. Okay, it's not that, but there's definitely warm. Oh, maybe it's just this. No, there's no saturation on that. Let's see what color this is. Oh, there's a little saturation there. I'm going to get rid of it. Here. 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 Huh. I know it's not just me. Is there like a hidden light somewhere? Alright, let me check this material again. White. Maybe it's just me. It looks white though. I'm getting, it's giving white, or it's giving warm white. I'm not exactly sure why. I can't pinpoint which light is making it look warm. This is blue. Okay, so maybe if I take the back wall, what if I make this a little more blue? That should make everything look a little bit more white. I like that. That's cool. And part of me, now that I've done that, part of me actually wants it. Let's see what it looks like if the background is just like yellow. I like it, but it's just too close to his skin color. I really like it. Because I've always, you know what it is? I've always liked like the old children's books when they had like a yellow sky. Like it's like etched in my memory. It's funny how things like that just like get stuck in your psyche. But I always loved, even for my children's book, when I illustrated my children's book, I had a yellow, I had some skies that were just like yellow. Some were blue, but some were yellow. like it. Kind of like it. Yeah, I think it looks cute. So the only thing is, it's very warm. Actually, it's quite warm. Let's see. Let's play with the hue. I think I like. Saturation. Let's just lower the saturation a little bit. No, let's not. What do you guys think? Do we like a blue better? Is blue better? It makes him pop more. I can't even lie. How many lights can you use in Blender? I don't know. I don't think there's a limit. I don't think there's a limit in Blender. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no limit. Are you using the Blender Kit add-on? The logo seems familiar. Oh, is there a logo? But yes, I'm using Blender Kit. But I don't know where you see logo though. But yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so now the background. So the background is blue. Maybe it's fun if this is like a darker blue. Maybe I mix some yellow in there. Nah. Do I even need this light? Makes it a little brighter, which I think might be a little nicer. Let's put it down to 100, so we'll split the diff. So I had a blue light over here, which I'm not sure if I still need. This light seems like it's in a good spot, but of course I'm gonna test it out and make sure that I like where it is. And also I want to test out if I actually need the light in the front. So that kind of like lights up his face a little bit better. I think I do like it. We do have the rim lights in there, although I can't really see them that well. They don't really look like they're doing much. Let's put them up to like 1200. Yeah, it still doesn't look like it's doing much, so I'm just going to go back to 300. I don't really see much with this one either. So I'm going to turn this one off. Got to make sure that you not only have to turn it on and off the lights, but you have to turn on and off the cameras, or else you'll render it and you'll forget a camera and it won't render it. I'm sure there's a way you can set it, because I'd rather just touch one and not the other, although sometimes it comes in handy, but I don't know. It always gets me. They always find a way to get me. Okay. This looks good. Everything else looks good. I have the lights from the things. Ooh, maybe I want to make this light a little warmer, maybe. And the only reason I'm thinking that is because let's see what happens if it's white versus warm. I can't really spot much of a difference. We'll just leave it white for now. Because when you have a lot of like, when you have warms and blues, like obviously he's warmer colors and we're using blues, so it's cooler colors, which looks nice. So maybe I don't need to do that with the lights. Sometimes I do it with the lights, but I don't think I need it for this. Let me make sure this is bright enough. Okay, that looks a little too bright, so that means that 10 should be good. So now that I have that, I can go back to the camera. I want to turn on depth of field. Okay, we'll save. And now I'm just going to render the image. So I think this will be the end of the stream. I have to get up. My butt is killing me. I need to go take a walk, get my exercising in. But I will show you a little bit of the render. So the size is good. Oh, let me just set this now. I don't know why it doesn't save to 60p. Size is good. Samples, this is where the money is. The samples and the size of the canvas. So the size is pretty big, so it should be fine. Again, I'm a little... you want to make sure that the eyes especially are clear. It's a little hard to do, but they look pretty clear. Unfortunately, sometimes when you switch back and forth to Eevee, it'll look clear in one and then like not clear in the other one. So like this, it looks a little off to me. So hopefully this will match the other one, but I don't want it to be a little off. I want it to be perfect. Perfectly. There you go. That looks perfect. So I have to try and double check cycles and see if it's also clear. I mean, it looks like it is, but it's always hard. The only way you know is when you do the when you do a render. So I'm going to save this once, last one, and then I'll do one render, and we'll see if it's clear. But it'll probably do it in squares, so I probably won't be able to see the eye until for a while. Come on, just give me one at least. Oh, this is really slow, but it looks good. It does look good. So anyways, you can see it's been a long time. This is only 2 samples, so there's 200 samples. You can also see that this is not the whole frame, so it has to sample. It'll sample this to 200, and then it'll sample this to 200, and it'll do the side. So it takes a long time. When I'm doing animation, I set the samples to 50. I set the samples to 50, and the size is smaller. So this might be, what you're seeing now might be the whole size. So it might be able to sample 50 in like a minute and a half or something like that. Whereas you can see for this whole scene, where the remaining time is 1 hour and 14 minutes. So I'm gonna go take a walk. Hopefully that's good. If it is good, I'm gonna come back and turn it around, and I'll do an export of that. So I'll have a nice close-up shot of the front, a nice close-up shot of the little guy on the back, and then I will lower the size of the resolution and lower the sample size, and I'll do a turntable. Unless I do the dark versions, I don't know. But that won't all get done until tomorrow. If I'm lucky, then tonight I'll be able to have the turntable going, because it'll take all night to get that done. But yeah, I think that's it. I wish I could show you what he looks like, but I can't yet because Blender literally takes forever. But I will post it, but check me out on Instagram. Whatever this is, I'll post it on my, will I post it on my story? Should I post it on, maybe I should do it on Twitter or something. because sometimes I don't like to like give him away until no, add me on Instagram. I will post it on the Instagram story. The final for him. Alright, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. Hope you're feeling good, Han. Hope you're doing alright. Hope you're doing a lot of sculpting. I'm loving it. Karsten, thanks for swinging by. Zale, Zala, Shreya, Flix. Appreciate all of you guys. Make sure you give me a like. Oh, time to walk around. Getting old. So of course I hit escape, trying to escape the stream, and then I have to start my export again. But again, that's Blender. That's normal. So I'm gonna minimize these. All right, catch you guys later.